I'm Paul Greenway. Political observers say George Bush has the best presidential campaign organization in Texas on the Republican side, and that Democrat Michael Dukakis is the best organized of his party here. Dukakis has spent more than $200,000 in Texas. He's opened 9 headquarters and hired 30 staff members. Bush has established campaign organizations in all 27 congressional districts in his adopted home state. Some of the vice president's key Texas operatives boast that Bush conceivably could win all 111 GOP delegates in the state, but political experts say the biggest mystery is how former television evangelist Pat Robertson will fare here in the GOP primary. Texas Senator Lloyd Bentsen has the power to raise money. In fact, he raised more funds last year than 8 of the 13 presidential candidates. That figure comes from the group Common Cause, which issued a report this weekend showing Bentsen raised $4.6 million last year for his re-election campaign, more than anyone else in Congress. Bentsen also accepted more money from political action committees than any other senator.
Wendy, last year the Baylor Police Department was responsible for escorting hundreds of students across campus. Almost all of the students were co-eds who had to make their way home after dark. And even though the number of reported crimes is in some cases way up this year, police maintain the campus is actually safer. They say because of new crime prevention programs at the university, more people are reporting more incidents, crimes which may have gone unreported in years past. But many Baylor students, especially women, are still fearful. Most of the students who use this parking lot live in a girls' dormitory across the street. And most of the co-eds have found out this lot is not particularly safe. Some have been warned by the school's administration, and others by freshman Mitzi Hudson, who was chased one Friday night about 9 o'clock.
And basically, I turned around and ran back to my car and got into my car, and then he got to me right as I closed my door and locked it, and he tried to pull on my door and, open my door and all, but it was locked.
Hudson managed to get away, but so did her attacker. And while Baylor police were not able to make an arrest on that occasion, they were able to make an arrest in a similar but separate incident.
And they recovered not only the shirt that the individual had committed a rape with 2 days earlier, but the knife he'd had tried to assault this girl with. And long story short, he's now doing life down south.
Baylor police say there was only 1 on-campus reported rape during the last year. 2 were reported just off campus.
The women involved were in situations that had they had a chance to think about it, they would have done things differently. They made themselves vulnerable.
During the last reporting period, burglaries were up by 25%, 81 in all. There were 8 assaults, police say mostly by people who knew each other. And the number of suspicious persons being reported has increased 500%. Officers say those statistics prove new crime awareness programs are working.
But we find that's good because a lot of offenses were not being reported, as we find now, over a period of years. People just say, oh, I've lost this, and nobody will do anything about it. Now we are doing something about it.
But even with more crime prevention programs in place at the university, Natalie Nalepa, who runs track at Baylor, is still very careful about when and where she works out.
We normally always run together, too. Usually we don't run alone. At nighttime, we're never supposed to run alone.
I don't even get out of my car in the parking lot and walk to the dorm without having my whistle in my hand and my mace, in my hand also.
Hudson would like to see Baylor police spend more time patrolling parking lots. For now, many students rely on call boxes for help. This one we set off by accident. Baylor police responded within a minute and a half.
People's awareness would increase, one more level than what it currently is. We would see crime decrease significantly, and that basically is our goal.
One thing that may help Baylor police fight crime is a recently approved extended jurisdiction. The police may enforce the law firsthand within a mile from any direction of campus. And the Baylor police are working more closely with Waco's police force this year, hoping to head off more unwanted statistics. Wendy?
Thank you very much, Paul.
A severely burned Hillsborough man died early Saturday morning at Parkland Hospital in Dallas from injuries he suffered nearly a month ago in an ammonia leak at Waco's Plantation Foods processing plant. 36-year-old Raymond Sanborn was the most critically injured of 8 workers who suffered gas inhalation and burns after an ammonia pipe accidentally ripped open. Sanborn had been a patient at the Parkland Burn Center since the March 5th accident. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration is investigating the accident and is expected to release its report later this week. Killeen police are investigating the death of a Seoul, South Korea man. This weekend, police found 59-year-old Pong Kil Pak in a Killeen Housing Authority development suffering from head wounds. Pak was taken to a Bell County hospital, then to Hillcrest Baptist Medical Center in Waco, where he later died.